about is the pearl of great price. And it's this idea of discovering that life is always out for discovery, always looking for something. And Thomas Merton famously said one of the challenges a lot of the time we're not looking for the right thing. So we sort of build this big ladder, moving up our lives, this ladder of success, only to find, as he would say, it was against the wrong building the whole time. And so what we're going to talk about today and share a little bit on is maybe a way we can recast that idea of discovering. It's a very famous biblical line. Many of you are aware of it, and this is from the book Secrets of Heaven, 2,967. It's talking about the passage in Matthew chapter 13, famous one. The kingdom of heaven is like a merchant looking for beautiful pearls, who when he found a precious pearl, leaving, sold everything that he had and bought it. The beautiful pearl is neighborly love, or the goodness required by faith. Beautiful line there, and it's there's so much wisdom in that. If we look at this pearl of great price, that is a picture of what neighborly love is like. In other words, that deep love that we can have for other people, deep love, that transformative love that should be out there in the world, that is out there to make a big difference. And that love, when we really see it, it's a love that grows over time. And just like with all pearls, pearls are formed by an adjutant, a piece of grit, and then the pearl sort of forms around that. Many of you know that, and it's a beautiful spiritual analogy. Like, I think that part of it, right, that we go through really hard times, we go through challenging times, and I certainly have seen it over and over and over and over again, that people go through really challenging times, come out with this pearl. They come out with this precious pearl out of this experience. And it's a pearl that is about, oh, this is what actually truly has meaning. This is what actually matters, like right here. And all the other stuff doesn't matter at all. And it's interesting, again, that has it, in the biblical story there, they have a merchant, because I think that's our merchant mind, right? That part that's always concerned about just one more dollar, a little bit more in the IRA, a little bit more of this, a little bit more of that. And here's Jesus going, well, this merchant, you're going to come to a point, and I think most people do, where they realize that that's probably not all there is in life. Not that it's a bad thing, but it's a means to an end, not an end in itself. And then we start to shift, and we start to look for that pearl. When you see that person who has come out of really challenging experiences, and they've got this beautiful pearl, this beautiful thing that they've developed, this beautiful part of their souls, it's really remarkable. My experience is most people who go through really hard things don't see that. They don't necessarily know. They're not coming out of going like, oh yeah, I developed this thing, because they're still especially around loss. Like, they're still grieving a lost loved one. They're still unsettled about something. But I think we can see it. We can see it in them, because they just have sort of a first things first, and no time for fools. No, I shouldn't say it that way. That's too strong. But they're just focused on first things recognizably first. I mean, that really is it. They're worried about connection. I know I was out to breakfast with a dear buddy of mine yesterday, and we were talking about kind of hitting this time of life, and we're both kind of moving forward in our lives, as most 60-year-olds are, and looking at those horizons, and he's like, yeah, you know what? It's just about people now to me. Like, and I totally agree with that. Like, we're both very professionally driven people, and more it just is like, oh, it's really just about people in our worlds. And that's a really good thing. I mean, what a beautiful way to sort of hold it, that, oh yeah, that's right. It's really all about people. So that's the thought for today, friends, is that, really look for that, and really look for that pearl, and have that merchant mind of yourself, look for it, and look for that neighborly good that you've seen that's been developed out of some challenge that either you've had or someone else has. And that's really the vital part. That's really what's in the end going to matter a ton. It really is. The other stuff is all nice and blah, 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 but it doesn't go anywhere. I mean, a little aside is, yesterday a podcast, they were talking about, the 7 great sins, and one of which is envy. And I brought up a good point. He's there, and envy is a sin. We all struggle with it. And envy is a sin that will never even momentarily be satiated. And it's true, we're always envious, right? You know, if you're envious at this level and you think once you get to this level, you're not going to be envious, not true. That's welcome to Bernie Madoff's world, right? There's always envious like you could have more. And I think this kind of passage is like, oh no, that's a little cray-cray. And let's get back to this pearl of great price. This pearl I'm willing to like just give it all away, because this in the end is what matters, and it's watching those beautiful acts of service that take place out there into our world. So that's the thought for today, friends, and wishing you all the very best with it. I will actually be joining you from Pittsburgh tomorrow. I'm headed out to Western Pennsylvania, out there for my Pop's memorial service. It'll be a very hard weekend, but a very precious weekend with family and friends as well. So with that, we're now going to shift gears. And as we always do here at New Church Live, we shift gears with a little trusty, rusty prayer bell. If you have not seen that before, prayer bell, go into a little meditation, go into the Our Father prayer, and then we end with a blessing, and we'll say hi to folks on social media, particularly Facebook. So with that, dear friends, let's get a little breath in the prayer bell. A meditation from the Old Testament. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I. Be still and know that. Be still and know. Be still and. Be still. Be. Our Father, who art in the heavens, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, as in heaven, so upon the earth. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we also forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May the Lord lift up his countenance upon you, bring you peace, and bring you home. Amen. All right, dear friends, let's take a quick peek here and see how everyone is doing. The computer is really slow today, so we might flip off here in a quick second, because I don't know quite why it's so slow, but there we go. Oh, we got some notes there. Linda, may God hold you and your family in the palms of his healing hands. Well, thank you, Linda. That's very sweet. It's going to be a very sweet, precious weekend. It's kind of fun because, for the family, we're a big Pittsburgh family, multi-generational. So the fun part will be getting everybody back together. My dad will certainly be there in spirit with a big old smile on, I'm sure. Martha, safe travels. Thank you very much. And it's going to be, like I noted, it's going to be a very good, very poignant day. And with a lot of this stuff, I'm just reminded again and again, it's just precious. I mean, that's really what it is. It just becomes incredibly precious. All right. Gianni writes, very encouraging words in times of trials. Thank you and have a great and safe trip. Well, thank you, Gianni. I really appreciate that. All right, dear friends. God bless you.